basketball activities?
I'm good. I got cleared a few weeks ago, so I'm making my way back. I got my conditioning back, obviously, but I've been cleared to play and work out to an extent.
Coach Holtmann seems like a very impressive guy. What are your impressions of him?
He's giving us a great impression, even from that first day, that first meeting, when he said he flew back just to meet us. That gave us a great impression that he's trying to get a great connection with us early.
There had to be some trepidation when you're going from somebody you're used to, somebody you like Coach Matta, and then there's a coaching search. Were you relieved when it was announced it was Chris Holtmann? What were your
it was
thoughts?
really the unknown that was killing us. Like, who's it going to be? What's going to happen? Because it happened all so fast, we didn't really know what to do. So then when you finally announced it was him, it was okay. It's a relief, and we can get to know this guy.
What's kind of been the vibe of the team since?
I've been really good. Change happens. It's just life. So we're just taking it one day by day.
Was there major disappointment when Thad left, and then how you guys all handle that together?
It was
sad. Days where you're waiting, you said.
Yeah, I was sad that first day because it was, we've known him. He recruited all of us here.
Right.
But like I said, change happens. Bosses, even in the real world, it happens. So we just got to deal with it.
What did you heard about him, about Holtmann? Before this, did you know the name?
I knew the name because I have friends that played on Butler. So then I contacted them and tried to get a little insight.
Yeah, what did they tell you?
He's a great guy. Everything they said is true, and he's a stand-up guy.
Are they bummed out that they're losing their coach?
They were already gone.
I got you.
That meeting on Friday, take us inside that. What was kind of his message initially when he met you guys? Did he speak with you all individually or just as a team?
First it was as a team. He tried to talk about him and his family like he just did with you guys and where his background and all that. And he kind of opened the floor for questions because we all had a lot of questions, obviously. So I don't even know how many it was, but it was a lot back and forth between us and him. And then we went individually. It was casually individual.
How long the meeting was?
40, 45 maybe.
What were some of those questions about his style, about maybe some staff changes?
Yeah, a lot of the same questions you guys had with the staff, the assistants, recruiting-wise, how we're going to do it this year, and then goals. Like the first question was the goals question.
What were his goals that he had for the team this year, and did you guys kind of buy into those?
We went into it, he's not going to be the coach that's going to wait around a few years to try and win games. He came up with the guys, I'm going to come in and win now. It's going to be a lot of work, obviously. We got to build trust in each other. There's some new staff coming in. He doesn't know us. We don't know them. So that's going to be rough for a little bit. But going forward, like I said, we're going to work hard every day.
How much of it all did Gene seek you guys' input on this search?
Me and JT met with Gene as the captains of the team just to try and do some feedback on what was going to happen. We have some input, but that's kind of above our pay grade.
Yeah, so. What did he ask you, I guess, and what did you articulate that you wanted and needed in your coach?
This is more, I don't know if I don't say anything wrong. This is something new that we were going to be comfortable with, not some, because Coach Matta recruited us here in a certain way, and he can't bring us something opposite of that. So I think Coach Matta and Coach Holtmann are kind of similar in certain ways.
Did you guys describe what the last week's been like, Keita? I mean, a week ago, Thad's still your coach, and now here we are at a new head coach. What is it? A whirlwind?
Yeah, these past 7 days have been pretty fast. I mean, it's just from the first day we didn't really find out until it's kind of the same day everybody else did. And it was the unknown for who the new coach was going to be, and then we finally got, there was the speculation between a couple other coaches, and then we finally got our current coach. But it's been a weird week.
Obviously, you didn't want to get injured last year and miss the season, but now you look back on it, was it maybe a blessing in disguise? You have 2 years left now instead of just one with Coach Holtmann?
Yeah, I think I just have to look at it like that. It's a blessing. It happens. Injuries happen, but I'm looking at it as a blessing at this point.
And how did you guys deal with Thad being fired? I mean, he was your guy. I'm sure it was a very difficult thing to go through.
Like I said, we built this personal connection with Coach over the past 3-4 years, actually 5 years of being recruited. So just so someone be here and then just not be here the next day, it was rough for us. That was the first time I've gone through a major coaching change like that in my life. So it was definitely rough, and we're leaning on each other to get through it.
And what are your initial thoughts about Chris Holtmann?
All positive, all great things. I've heard great things about him. He talks, a great game, and he backs it up.
That meeting with Gene, did you guys initiate that sit down?
Yeah, we did. We want to have some say. Let's try to figure out what's going on for the other guys too, because we all had questions. We said we should go to, Gene Smith and try and figure stuff out.
You guys were kind of stuck in limbo, and
we were in it was limbo for a few days.
Yeah. So who was running the practices during all of that?
The assistant coaches were still here, so we were still doing on-court stuff. They were still here, and then we had stuff for Coach Rich, our strength coach, in the morning. So.
Just how shocked were you? What was kind of the time between when the
How did
press
you find
conference
out?
with Gene and Thad.
Yeah, how did you find out that?
I heard it was kind of a telephone type of thing. I heard from somebody who heard from somebody that something was going down at the press conference. That was when it was kind of what this would be about.
Right.
And then as time went on, we found out. He told us before it went down and got public. So we already knew before everybody else knew.
How long before?
A few hours. Because like you said, Coach Matta and Gene Smith on Friday. It was only a couple days before the press conference happened, so I'm sure they were trying to get stuff settled.
Have you even had a chance to kind of process this whole thing
No,
to
not
this
really.
point? I mean, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of time in between, when you found out about Coach Matta and now having a new coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good that it happened so fast. Because now we can get the ball rolling with the new coach because we're already kind of behind, like you said. So I think it was kind of good that we had this structure and we had still consistent stuff every day to kind of keep our minds occupied.
Can you describe the meeting Friday with Chris Holtmann?
He came in kind of the same thing he did with you guys. He told him about himself, his family, his background, how he likes to play, and then he kind of opened the floor for questions. That's when we had a lot of questions back and forth. Most of the team asked some kind of questions.
What was the kind of the mood before the meeting and then after the meeting among you guys?
It was relief for most of it because it was okay. We got the new coach. We found out early the day before, and then it was now we can talk to him. Now we can figure out what he's about. How he keeps getting in.
Through your conversations with Coach, did you guys broach the subject of who might be joining him as far as an assistant coach? Like, do you guys have a good feel of who the new assistant coaches are going to be?
I do not. I'm not sure about all that.
Gene mentioned the word transition for this season because the new coaching staff, and you already mentioned you guys are kind of behind. What's kind of your reaction to hearing that word, like a season of transition? I mean, you guys have obviously had a few years where you've gone down, but
in the sense of the word transition, it is because it's a new coach.
Sure.
A bunch of new coaches, but I don't think we're going to take it as the transition years where it's kind of down years. I'm not looking at it like that.
Coach talked about wanting to put this team back.
Two more over here, please.
Talk about what that's like to play under him and his energy, try to get Ohio State back to where it used to be.
That's what I said again.
What was it like to try to get Ohio State back to hit what it used to be under Coach Holtmann?
We're just, like you sort of work every day and trying to reach that goal, try and get back to the top where we should be.
Is there almost more determination among you guys because you lost the coach, now you have a new one, and you want to show that there's not going to be a waiting period, it's not going to be a rebuild, it's going to be success right away. Is there that determination among you guys?
Definitely it should, because even when Coach Matta was here, we felt like we shouldn't have been where we were. I got hurt and things happened, but we're trying to get back to the top. I was down 3 or 4 years. We're trying to get back to the top.
How are you feeling physically now?
I feel good. I got cleared a few weeks ago, so now I'm slowly making my way back. I got my conditioning back up, obviously, but I'm making my way back.
Jay Sean mentioned you and himself and Cam as the seniors and the leaders of this group. I know you've been here for 4 years, but are you operating under the assumption you have 2 more years left to play here?
I'm operating under the assumption that I am, yes, but in the sense that I think urgency is a good thing. So if you look at it, since my last year, because JT's been my man, we came in the same time. If I had the same mindset he has, I think we'll be good.
What's been the whole year like for you with your injury, and then having to sit out, kind of watch the slow
decline? Yeah, it was rough. It was definitely rough. I think it helped me mentally though, how not to do things and how to do things, or a better way to do things. And I think Coach Holtmann will help us get back.
What do you think of the 2 new guys, Braxton and Caleb? Your initial impressions.
They're great. They're great players. Mr. Basketball in Ohio, so he already has kind of the accolades. So Braxton was kind of slow going, but he's very good. Very good player.
What was it like when the season was over and you guys are kind of waiting around, hoping, because we haven't got to talk to you. What was it like having to miss the postseason entirely and kind of deal with that and move forward? What was that experience like for you guys as a team?
It was rough. It was kind of back. It was March last senior. So it's a game, the Rutgers game. We didn't know that at the time. Right. So we've been played together for 3 years, and then Trevor declared and all the stuff that happened in the offseason. It was kind of like, when's it going to end? I think finally this new breath of fresh air is going to help.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Keita. Thanks, Keita.